Hey everybody, hope you're having a great day. Take a look at these pumpkin scones. They're really easy to make and they're delicious. Let me show you how it's done. Well, of course you start with flour. 1 cup of self-rising flour, or if you don't have self-rising, you can just add a teaspoon of baking powder to regular flour. Then 1/4 cup of light brown sugar, and then 3 tablespoons of regular salted butter, diced up. Let's stir up the sugar before we add the butter. Give it a good stir, and then we want to put the butter in like this. Give it a shake, and then get your hands in there and start squeezing those pieces of butter. You want to make slivers, kind of like the way you would do if you wanted to make biscuits. You get them all squeezed in, incorporated. There's still some pretty good sized pieces in there. We just want to flatten them. It's not hard. And then we want to add pumpkin pie spice, about a teaspoon. And then give that a stir. And you can see the little pieces of butter. And next, pumpkin. 1/2 cup of regular pumpkin. And then we want to try and start stirring that together. You have to work at it a little bit. And when you get it about to this stage, it's time to get your hands in there. So the only thing I've added that would be a liquid or a binder would be the pumpkin. You can see it's just canned pumpkin. And we want to work that flour in, work it until it starts coming together. And it's not going to take all of the flour. I just let that pumpkin take as much flour as it wants. Now let's move these out of the way so we can put the wax paper down. I like to work on wax paper because it makes it easier to clean up. You see how much of the flour is still left. We're going to work a little bit more of that in. We want to achieve a slightly sticky dough, that it just begins to stick on the wax paper. So we press it down and fold it over. Work it like this. It's kind of sticky. And you kind of have to just feel for this consistency. Even out those edges a little bit and then press it out. I'm going for kind of a square shape. Of course you can put it in any shape you want. But we're going to cut the scones out of this shape. And I'm taking that paper that the butter was wrapped in and using it to kind of butter the baking pan. And then I'm going to get a knife and cut this into quarters. Just like that. And then separate these pieces so I can cut each of them individually. If there's extra flour, just kind of brush that off. And then we're going to cut these diagonally, and that'll create the scone shapes or the triangular shapes that I want. And then put them on the bake pan. Simple. And then we want to put them into a preheated oven, preheated to 425 degrees. We're going to cook them for 14 minutes or until they're lightly brown on top. And this is how they look. Beautiful. They smell great. Next, you want to get a small bowl or dish and put a cup of powdered sugar and about a tablespoon of regular whole milk. And we're going to make the glaze out of this. And you stir it up, and then you just have to add milk until you get the consistency you like. About like that. I want it to be able to pour over the scones. Now I'm going to put the scones on a cooling rack, and underneath that rack I have more wax paper so I can pour the glaze over like this. And we just want to pour a little bit of this glaze. Then we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice to that glaze and stir that in. And 1/4 cup of the light brown sugar. Now if you don't like the pumpkin pie spice, put less or don't put any at all. But watch how this comes together. Stir that in, and then we're going to add a nice big tablespoon of pumpkin. That same pumpkin that we put in the scones. and it adds more moisture. And so you stir it up, and it turns into a really wonderful glaze. Just like that, and we'll pour some of this over the top. Oh, that's delicious stuff. Simple, huh? And there you have it. Nice and moist. Very good. Pumpkin scones, they're easy to make. Hey, thanks for watching. Take care, we'll see you next time. Bye now.